Hey everybody, Rich Groves here with Gateway to Freedom, the real estate investor conference being held right here in St. Louis this week. It's incredible to think that we have come to the time when we're getting ready to launch this real estate investor conference, and it's going to be a real estate investor conference like you've never seen. You know, some people, if you've gone to real estate investor conferences, you get out there and the first day is incredible, the second day is incredible, but they start pitching you some kind of mastermind. And then the third day is almost a complete day of an infomercial for their mastermind or whatever. And hey, if that's their setup and that's what they do, good for them. That's great. They do offer incredible value. I will say that I actually came from one of those conferences just a few weeks ago. Incredible. I had a fantastic time there. And it was unbelievable. So with that being said, Gateway to Freedom is not like that. Gateway to Freedom isn't going to be a pitch fest. We're not going to set you up to sell you a mastermind at the end called the Gateway to Freedom Mastermind or something like that at all. It's not a pitch fest, but what we do is we are focused on and we're featuring over 30, sorry about that, folks, over 30 speakers on stage in St. Louis at a huge conference this weekend, October 17th, 18th, and 19th. And these are incredible speakers who are doing a great job and having a high amount of success in the real estate investment industry. Now, each speaker might have some type of mentorship or some kind of program that you can enroll in if you feel like you connect with them. And that's fantastic. That's what we're all about. We want to connect people with other like-minded investors. We want to connect people with speakers who are knowledgeable on their topics. We want to connect people with sponsors and vendors out there who can add value to the real estate investing community in St. Louis and across the country. So with that being said, if it wasn't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to put on this event because we don't charge a ton of money for these tickets. And we don't have a huge mastermind we're selling at the end, right? So we need sponsors to help us put on these events. And one of those sponsors is going to be talking with us here in just a moment. And let me bring him on board. I'm going to bring on David Randolph with the Short Sale Profits. And here he is right now. How you doing, David?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. Glad to have you on today. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
That's awesome. It's for folks that aren't in St. Louis, it's a nice, crisp, cool fall day, isn't it?
Yeah, probably one for the rest of the year. Be cold the rest of the year, and we better enjoy it, right?
Exactly, right. I love these days. I love this transition time. And speaking of transitions, let me transition into why we've got you on here. So, David, you're one of our speakers that are going to be on the stage with us at Gateway to Freedom, but you've also had your company, the Short Sale Profits, sponsor our event, not only just this year, but you actually were a sponsor last year in our first year. Why'd you come back?
Well, I'll tell you what, Rich, for me, it's super important to support these types of events because they're really expensive to put on. And so, there's not anything being sold at the event. So you're not making any kind of commission from anything like the other types of events do. And so how are we going to get all these people together to learn from 30 plus speakers, learning about different things in real estate, whether you're a brand new beginner or you're at another level wanting to go up even higher. So we have to have these type of events where all people can come together, do networking, and they're expensive. And so being a sponsor just helps offset some of that cost. So that's why we do it. We really firmly believe in this model.
Well, I appreciate that very much. And folks, if you're watching today and if you have questions along the way, pop in a question in the chat. Perfectly fine to do that. Or you can always comment on this video because it will be posted out on several of our social media sites on Facebook, both for Metro STL Homes, Rich Groves rather, our Gateway to Freedom website, our Gateway to Freedom Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channels and Instagram. So you can I don't think actually we got Instagram going, but you can comment at any time on this video, whether you're seeing it live or in perpetuity. And we welcome you doing that because I know I will be sharing any of those comments with David if he doesn't see them as well. But with that being said, David, you are known as the Short Sale Profits, and I absolutely love that name. And I know it's kind of intuitive of, well, what do you do, because it's in the name, but tell folks what the Short Sale Profits does.
Yeah, I mean, we teach people all across the country how to do short sales. These are basically short sales that you're working with the homeowner on and stopping the foreclosure than negotiating directly with the bank. And so we help teach investors how to be the buyer and the negotiator to make huge, oh my gosh, huge profits. You got to come to the conference and hear how huge they are. Matter of fact, I'll just share one real quick because this happened last Monday. One of my students in Chattanooga, he had a house that he bought on a short sale, and he just got it under contract to sell it, okay, for $315,000, okay, and he bought this house as what's called a Fannie Mae short sale. He paid $174,000 for it. Okay, public records, go look it up. Okay, he put $15,000 in paint into the house. That's all he did to it, and he has it under contract right now for $315,000. Huge profits in short sales, and so we show investors how to do that all across the country. It's a federal process. It doesn't matter what state you're in. The paperwork, the negotiation of the bank is identical, no matter where you live. Marketing's a little bit different, on how long you reach out to the homeowner, but short sale process is the same, and that's what we teach people all across the country.
Man, it's a little disclaimer, right? You have to do that. Hey, not every person that gets with the short sale profits is going to have that kind of success on every single identical deal you do. But just knowing that you're showing people and you're educating people how they can possibly set themselves up to make such a great amount of profit and such a great margin there, it's incredible. And I know, I've followed you. I've known you a while here, and I know that this isn't just a freak accident that somebody did that you're having a ton of success. Your students are having a ton of success. And I know you've got a track record to prove it. Would you happen to share, would you like to share, or do you want to save it for the conference? Do you want to share what your track record is?
Well, I'll just give people my background and really who I am. I'm not some big syndication or a part of some big other company. I'm a regular person like you guys are that are listening to this. I'm just a rehabber. I rehab 5 to 10 houses a year on it. One of my claims to fame is all my renovated houses, that I put up for sale on the MLS. 265,000 or less. They've actually all sold in 7 days or less, at list price or higher, for 14 years. They're drop dead gorgeous. But I got this unfair advantage, as you guys already know. I buy my houses as a short sale that are not on the MLS, but rather I work with a homeowner and then negotiate directly with the bank. After that, I became a hard money lender. Okay. I have over $3 million in cash in my IRAs, my retirement accounts. And so my heart is to help new rehabbers. So I lend it out to new rehabbers, the money to buy it, the money to fix it, the money for the points, the money for the monthly interest payments, all of it. I want you to help get started, pay it all back when you sell it. Then like 5 years ago, all the big people in the country, said, hey, you need to start teaching other people how to do short sales. So 5 years ago, I started teaching other people, and that's me. That's what I do.
That's incredible. And David, I think that if this is lost on people watching this, I want to point this out. What you just mentioned there is very rare. It's very rare in what we do, where somebody will mentor you and actually provide you the avenue and the vehicle to get done what they're teaching you. You're just talking about how you're a hard money lender as well, and you're lending to your students to get their deals purchased and rehabbed. And like you said, you loan on the points, and you loan on the monthly payments, because that's part of hard money lending that some people, if they're just starting out, might not have available to them as well. But with your system and your, for lack of a better term, and I don't mean to downgrade it at all, you're hand holding with people, and you're providing all these vehicles. That's amazing. And I don't want that to be lost on anybody rewatching this or watching this live. So that's amazing.
Well, yeah, see, people, there's a lot of myths that I will dispel during the presentation, but one of them is that you have to buy a house for cash. Okay. Well, look, here's the trick. In case you don't show up for the conference, write this one down. When you do a short sale, your offer is cash as is. However, you don't have to come to closing with your cash. You can get someone else's cash. Do you think it was very hard for me to get $29,600 for a short sale that I bought, that I sold for $275,000? Okay, it's really easy to get someone else to lend you the money. And if they won't, you already know I lend money. So you can come to me for that. But you don't have to have your own cash in a short sale.
That's amazing, and that's a huge thing. And that's a lot of times that's a barrier for people getting into real estate investing, right? They think I can't get into real estate investing, even though there's a lot of different ways to do it and a lot of different exit strategies and everything. But they get it frozen in their head that, man, I can't do that because I don't have any money and whatever. But it's just amazing to know that there are people out there with avenues that can help you get the deal done and get the job done. So I'm not giving away a ton of stuff here I don't want to give away a lot of stuff that you're going to talk about at the conference, because that's the thing. We want people to come to the conference and learn about short sales, learn from you, learn from the short sale profits, and see what you have to say, because I think what you have is incredible. Now, you said you've got this track record since 2000, well, for 14 years now. If anybody doing the math, that's like 2010. That's like right after the crash, right? So, man, I mean, that's a huge track record too. I don't want to put that on the back burner or let that slip either. Is that David's been doing this, not even in the bet. Like, it'd be easy for somebody to say, hey, look, for the last year and a half or 2 years or 2.5 years, I've been doing this, when the housing industry was exploding, right? But you were doing it even in some of the tougher times.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And by the way, just so you know, the money in my IRA I've made a lot more than that. That's just money my wife didn't see, that got into the IRA. Shh, don't tell her. Okay.
Our secret.
Yeah, don't tell her. But what you got?
Right. I know.
No, but I'll give another tip for people too, that I'll explain it in the conference. You got to come to the conference to understand how this works. Okay. But the equity in the house, okay, how much equity in the house is irrelevant to a short sale. Because people say, but David, home prices have been rising and rising. There are no short sales. That's dead wrong. A short sale has nothing to do with how much equity is in the house. And I know that's going to get a lot of people upset. Come to the conference and I will show you in writing why that's true.
That's awesome. No, that's incredible, because people need to know that. People need to dispel these myths and learn. And that's how you learn, right? And so what? You may tick somebody off. You may get somebody mad that you're telling the truth. But that's how education's done. Is you got to dispel rumors and myths, and let people. It'd be different if you were to not play on. It'd be different if you were living in a van down by the river and trying to teach people how to do this right. But you've done it over and over and over, and you're successful. And that's who you want to learn from. You want to learn from the people who are doing what you want to do and are successful at doing that. And you're that guy. You're that company. So amazing. So you also speak around the country. You go to different conferences and everything. You speak there as well. How, I guess, at a conference in general, and like you touched on this at the beginning as well, and whether it's Gateway to Freedom or Clever Summit or the Ohio Real Estate, I forget what it's called, OREA or whatever, coming up there at the end of October, whether it's Bigger Pockets or whatever, what kind of value does attending a conference like this give to just whether it's a new investor or even an experienced investor?
Well, I tell you, there is so much value by meeting people. It's all about relationships that you build with other people. And, it's really tough to do that on Zoom. I understand that some people just can't physically travel like that, but man, there's so much there when you're going to lunch or in between the breaks, you're talking to the person next to you, you're sharing what you do, what they do. They have this skill in that and you have a skill in this. It's so important. Yeah, I actually used it in my, St. Louis City, where we would go to RIA meetings, a monthly meeting, and I would go there with a secret. Okay. And I would share it with like 10 different people, and they go, "Oh, Dave, that's really cool. I can't believe that. That's cool. Hey, I know this. Here's something a secret I know." And they would tell me their little secret, and I would leave the meeting with 10 secrets and only gave one away. That's the power of networking. Come there and be of value to somebody else, and then they'll reciprocate. And so your knowledge just goes exponential. So it's hugely important to build those relationships, in person with other people.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I love that tip because if you go to these places with intention and you've got an intent on doing something specific, like you said, I'm going to share this one tip with 10 people or whatever, and I'm going to get 10 back. But you had that intent of doing that. You weren't just sitting in the corner talking to one person the whole time, but you were working the room and you were providing value and you were receiving value back. Like you said, it's reciprocal. And I think that's amazing. That's a great tip for folks. Even if whether you come to Gateway to Freedom, and you can do that, and shoot, wouldn't you love to leave a conference like that with not only all the tips that those speakers are going to give you, but hundreds of tips that the attendees are going to give you. That's just amazing.
Yeah, 2 solid days. I'm going to literally a hour meeting, right? And so this is 2, 3 full days, okay, on amazing time. So it's just unbelievable.
Absolutely. Now, folks, I know David, I don't want to take up all your time or whatever today. Is there anything specific you want to share with our viewers that they should know about either you or the Short Sale Profits?
Well, I think that, they can always go to my website and look me up and call me up with a question about short sales. Don't let the family go to foreclosure. Call me up and I can help you stop it. We've got ways today right now, in our Short Sale Profits group to stop an FHA foreclosure just 4 days before. On a Fannie Mae foreclosure, we have a way to stop it 2 days before the foreclosure date. And if it's a VA loan, a VA foreclosure, we can stop it the day before. So please reach out to me at any time at the conference or outside of it for help. Don't let the family go to foreclosure.
And that's amazing right there, because that's what it's all about. That's what this business, I know real estate investors sometimes here and there, they get a bad name, a bad rap. Oh, you're taking advantage of people or whatever. That's not what it's about. People that are doing it right are here to provide solutions for people's problems and their issues with their homes. And like you said, they're facing a foreclosure 1, 2, 4 days before. You can still help them and get them out of a foreclosure like that. And that's what it's all about, David. So that shows a lot about the character you have.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, if you like what you're hearing from David right now and you want to learn more about it, you've got to get to Gateway to Freedom. You have to. It's this week in St. Louis. We start for our platinum tickets are sold out. So the 17th is sold out, but come for the 18th and 19th for as little as $99.
Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
No,
oh, that's chicken feed.
I know, right? I mean, you will make 10x, 20x, 30x that investment easily. And if you listen to David and learn from David, holy cow, you will 300x your investment for $99 if you take action and do what he says to do. The thing is, though, you go out to www.g2free.com. That's G, the number 2, free.com. Go out there and pick that silver ticket that we still have available. Our gold tickets are sold out. Our platinum tickets are sold out. Get that silver ticket. It's going to say it's $299. But what you do is you use the coupon code DavidR, one word, David R, because we have 2 Davids speaking. So we have a David O and a David R. Use David R as that coupon code. It knocks $200 off that ticket, and you get it for $99 for a weekend chock full of education and networking and all the other things that come with that. With that being said, David, I appreciate you jumping on here with us today, talking. Hopefully, I know it got me all pumped up. I can't wait already. And now I'm talking to you and I'm like, man, can we start like in a half hour? So I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. And thank you and the Short Sale Profits for supporting our platform and for supporting our conference. We truly appreciate that. And without you guys and sponsors like you, we would not be able to do this. It's what helps us make sure that people can get in the door and learn from people like you so inexpensively. So thank you so very much.
Yep. See you guys on this weekend.
Yeah. Take care, David. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.